action.
Okay, so me and my project is Malik is the real MVP. Malik is a kid that showed up and left after 10 minutes. Didn't have time to come up with a great name, but no, he doesn't know me or anything. And granted, he'd only show up for he was there for 30 minutes, and he didn't know me, and he just came, and he came out just from something that he heard from football, and he had no idea who I was. So that was why Malik is the real MVP. And he came out and helped. That's about my real project. First, let's talk about what happened on the way to that. Little kids. My first idea, I wanted to help a local dog park. It's Sea Spot Run over in LaGrangeville. It's in LaGrangeville. It's over by Overlook. And my project was I was going to bring games in for the people so they stayed longer, and then help overall improve it, clean it up, put some more toys in for the actual dogs. And I went there, it was a great idea, and I was talking to Sandy Washburn, she's the recreational supervisor for the town of LaGrange, and she was all for it, and then I went in, and I met her finally after 2 weeks or 3 weeks of her saying we need to meet, and then I finally went in, scheduled it, and she said that was a terrible idea, shouldn't do it. So I was like, okay, what can I do? And actually before I left there, it wasn't all bad, because she gave me another project that I think I was actually more passionate about. It's called Nature Play. It's an idea. Nothing's nothing's like this has happened around here, but in other parts of the country, it's called a nature play trail, and it's kind of like you go along the trail and you learn as you go along. And there's a outdoor classroom. A couple Eagle Scouts were working on there doing a project. One was a life-size eagle nest or bird's nest, and it was huge, and that was their idea. That's what they were doing, and I was gonna get a bunch of volunteers from the football team and some of my friends from the wrestling team when I had a bunch of time to tell everyone about it, and get them to come out and get some community service hours and clean up the trail and do that for the Nature Play Trail. And I really thought that would be a good idea, because when I was little I hated learning inside. It was terrible. Every summer I would play outside all day, and then I'd come to school and I'd sit in class for the entire day, and I hated it. And I thought it was so cool they could bring people and they could learn outside and they could walk around and do stuff. That was why I wanted to do the project. As you can read in the bottom, I'm not very nice, I don't like her. She, for the next 5 weeks, she told me that it was great, the project was going, it seemed to meet up, and then she canceled on me 4 times, and then she forgot about me for a while. Then she didn't answer some of my emails. Then she was nice at the end. Then she was mean again. Basically, so I called the secretary finally and instead of emailing, and to tell me the truth, they scratched the project for the spring, and they just didn't tell me. And so it was 2 or 3 weeks to my presentation, and I didn't have a project, and I didn't have anything that I really thought that I'd be into, because I didn't have time to figure anything out. I do have friends. Some friends. Most of them are teachers, as you can find out now. Ms. Polino, no one really knows her that well. She's kind of low-key in the school, especially in this class. My teacher calls her husband Mr. Polino. He's a town supervisor in Hyde Park, and she also calls Mr. Goddard and looking for a project for me, something along the lines of cleaning up something. And Mr. Goddard, he knows me, he likes me, he's one of my friends. He finds me a project, come clean up the school with a few of my teammates. I didn't have as much time to market it really to get more kids, because I didn't even know what my project was. But now the time frame, I had to get as many volunteers as possible. Really didn't get many at all. I wish I got more. Talk about that later. But all in all, it was a success. They came out and they did help me. Before we see any pictures, I want you to know I tried so hard to make them the right way. And when you zoomed out, I flipped them, and then you'd zoom back in, and it was still like this, and then I flipped them back to see, okay, maybe it would work. And it didn't. They're still sideways. There's one that's actually upside down. I'm disappointed. So you might hurt your head, but everyone's like, this is Bobby, Mike. Malik's in the back right there, the skinny one, and this Carino. That was the beginning. We're waiting for the guy to come out. To help my volunteers, we threw out a bunch of pallets. They were old from homecoming. There was I'd say 30. And then Mike actually wanted some of them because they looked nice. A bunch of boards, wooden posts, parts of bleachers. An old baseball mound was like full of ants and bugs and gigantic spider that you'll also see later. But it was huge, and that was a lot of bugs. We also moved 3 treadmills they were stuck in this container way out there. You put them on a backhoe and you drove it over. Those were hard to like get on there because they wouldn't stay. Which was more for us to do. There really wasn't that much because of short notice. They didn't have any big jobs, but we were there. We did work. Small victory or big victory was actually getting a project. I mean, for the first month and a half of this, or even longer, I thought I had a project and I didn't. In the last second, I actually got a project. Thank you to a few people, Ms. Polino, Mr. Goddard, and that was something that really I thought was like the biggest victory. Was actually getting a project that it helped. Like it was directly affected to me since it's my school, and also the kids that I go here with, like they just clean it up. I mean, I wish I did more, like I said before, but that's something that I might want to explore in the future. There's a spider. This isn't a friend. I said I met a new friend. There's other things that are friends. This is not a friend. He was mean. There's another big picture of the sideways. Sorry. I saw that one already. That's Khalil and Bobby. Bobby was in charge for a very short amount of time when I had to go talk to Mr. Goddard. Don't worry. Very professional clipboard I got from Ms. Molino. That was our first volunteer. That's also his brother's brand, by the way, if you want to look it up. It's called Fly Life. Okay, so this is the backhoe. You also can't see. That was like the mound that we had put in there. That was half of it anyway. I kept forgetting to take pictures because I was actually working. And it's like the pallets and the treadmills you don't see. This backhoe moving stuff. But I took pictures like when we were I've been off time. I mean, a shortcoming of a project is I wish I had more time to plan, not only to get like more people so we could do more, but also they have bigger jobs and like it would give us something better to do. Plus, maybe I could find a project that like I could actually organize instead of just last minute. But I would definitely, because of this, I might want to try this again. No deadline because I now hate deadlines because of this project. But I might want to do this again, but on a bigger scale. I skipped one. No, I didn't skip one. Okay, pics with Bay. We got to see Bay. This is the other friend that we had. That was actually a friend. Bay. And there's Bobby.
Where is that?
Momentarily charged. What is this? This is a toad that we found under the bleachers when we were ripping them up. There's the toad. So he was adorable. Yes, Jake?
Name?
Name? We didn't name him.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I did throw him into the woods.
What?
Gently, gently.
Yeah, gently, very gently, and he landed on a leaf. I saw him. He slid down. This is Mike, who generously came out and volunteered, and Khalil, our first volunteer. He's jumping out of it, I think. The pallets were all here, but then they were all clean, so I forgot to take pictures. Got Gatorade though. He's yellow. That's why I had the Gatorade in yellow. That was them carrying it. Yeah, it was Brandon Whitaker. He showed up, but he showed up late. This one's completely upside down. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Well, really walking upside down.
It's actually art. It wasn't anything special, but then I flipped upside down. Now it means something. It's open to interpretation. This was them ripping up the bleachers. I mean, I'll be honest. This picture was kind of staged, but we did end up ripping up that part of the bleachers. Also, it's not upside down. It's to the side, but it was ready to turn. So, very professional crew. Except Malik, who left, but he still was MVP. And then Bobby took the picture. He was one that was momentarily in charge. I was going to explain this at the end, but Malik is still the real MVP. I explained it already. That was a project.
Great job. Very entertaining.
Is it called Malik? Is the real MVP?
That is, I named my project.